We ready there, guys?
Oh, you know it.
Is that a bounce card type thing?
Yeah, it works too.
Yeah. All right, what camera am I on? This one? Middle?
It's like they're all just kind of sitting there, but and they all have a purpose.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Transformation Church Message Recap Podcast. We're back. We're in a new location.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in a corner.
You'd think we'd have nailed that down by now.
What, the intro?
Yeah. I think it's part of the fun now.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I can never remember what it's called.
So you don't do that on purpose?
No.
My mind goes to weekly follow-up every time.
Literally.
Yeah.
Even if someone says ahead of time it's not that.
We said that for years.
We did.
We said it for years.
But it's a message recap, and it's more fun now.
It really does give...
Even though we never recap the message.
Hey.
Hey,
It's like one.
don't be giving out our secrets, bro.
It's like one bite. Everybody knows the rules. The pizza
Yeah,
eats a whole slice.
Yeah, we said weekly follow-up, for years. 4 or 5 years. So it's hard to undo that. I remember after I worked at the music store for a long time.
Oh, you'd answer your phone.
Tringas.
When I went to All Pro, I would still think, Tringa's music is
Yep.
Brad. Like
Yep.
it was
I did that before with a job.
hard to unwire your brain.
I can't stand the sound of a ringing phone now because of one of my jobs. Because there was 5 of us inside sales, but we had 9 phone lines, and they rang all day long,
Ugh.
constant.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's
For
no
campers?
No, when I did aluminum building materials and stuff,
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
it was fun. I actually really enjoyed that job. It was really great, but it was nonstop on the phone.
Gotcha.
So it was a lot. Just the sound of that phone ringing. I was like, we could turn these off and just let the lights
Yeah.
I don't know why we need this. And the boss said no. So, Brad's.
Do what the boss man does.
So, anyways, we're back.
We're here.
Brad's messing
We're
with his
doing
phone.
it.
Did any of y'all watch the Apple event?
I did not.
I did.
What happened? Tell me more.
Yeah, I did.
Tell me more.
They released. They showed the new iPhones that are coming out next month,
They look
and
shockingly similar to the other iPhones.
yeah, they look similar, but there's some changes. Like there's a new button that's a camera button that not only activates your camera, but like if you turn your phone like this, you can it's also kind of like a what would you call, like a dimmer, like not a dimmer, but you can adjust things by moving up and down on the button, and it'll take pictures and all that. So
they made access to the camera a little easier.
Yeah. And then so the new iPhone and then the iPhone Pro. The Pro and the Pro Max are a little bigger. Like this is 6.1. Now they're 6.3 or 6.9 instead of 6.7 on the Maxes.
Gotcha.
It's a little bigger.
Basically an iPad Mini at this point. Yeah, we're trying to fit
Yeah,
into
but the
that
Max
market.
is too big. But
Nonsense.
and then they released some new AirPods and a new Apple Watch. What's the Ultra? The Apple Watch Ultra. Yeah, but this the whatever the new stuff is. They got sued. Apple did
For what?
on the watch. Oh, I didn't know that.
Ooh.
They really had to stop selling for. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, so there was a watch. It was like I said, AirPods. Actually, I'm gonna get the new AirPods.
You are.
Just because I have the AirPod Pros now, the first generation, and I don't like them. I want to go back to AirPods without the foam tips, just the AirPods. And now they say they're redesigned, they fit better. And now with the new AirPods, they also have noise canceling and all that, like the Pros do, but they're not
Gotcha.
Pros. So, anyways, so I sold my Pros. So,
Oh, you got them sold? Dang, that was quick.
yeah, I sold them to a friend of mine, but
Oh, okay.
I sold those. Anyways, yeah, just the new iPhone. And then actually what I enjoy every year, and I know Kyle doesn't do this at all, which is crazy to me, but like I more than the phone, I like to see the iOS update and all the new features in the iOS, because they always come out with some. Which actually you can download the new iOS on Monday. It's available. So
It always frustrates me.
Yeah.
I like the small changes. Then you get used to
Time
them.
to
but it's
lose some battery life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some of them are cool. It's like I like when there's like legitimate changes that are like they're coming out with their own. We're just somehow the other day, me and Kyle were talking about like a password manager. They have like a native one as an app on the phone now, like for passwords. Like they're trying to get more secure and things like that. So I don't know. There's always features. Now with the new phones and the new iOS, I think it's releasing later in the fall. What do they call that? The AI. No, not Siri. They're calling it the something else. Some Apple AI something. And anyways, but like even after like you type an email, you can hold your finger on it and highlight it, and then run it through AI to like make it sound better and reword it. No, it's like all native.
Like ChatGPT.
It's like ChatGPT built into the iPhone now.
I'm gonna like
Which
that.
I kind of like that.
I use ChatGPT.
So yeah, I'm looking forward. I like the new iOS stuff. So anyways,
I have a question. Whenever you have to put in a password on a website, whatever, like you're buying a shirt and it's like, please enter a password, and it gives you a password you can use. Yeah. It's like 467 characters that don't make any sense, just a jumbled up mess.
Yeah.
Do you use that? Or are you like, no, I'm going to choose my own password?
I currently don't.
I don't.
But me and Kyle were just talking about this, and if I get a proper password manager, I would like to use that because everything's way more secure.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm worried about
because
too many people
what'll happen
hacking
is
into mine.
once you save that for that website, it's saved in for that website. So then it would use Face ID or your thumb or whatever next time. You know, because you're obviously not going to remember that password. Yeah.
Tell me about
They're gonna
this.
be
Kyle
pass-
says
Kyle says
pass
pass
keys.
keys.
The future is pass keys, Kyle says. It's authenticated with your device, not a password.
So is it like a SIM card or something, or
So it uses like essentially almost like your what?
It knows it's you because it's your device, not.
So, like for instance, you can PayPal. For instance, you can log into
You can log into your PayPal.
your browser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. So essentially, the company PayPal, Aeropostale, whatever, recognizes your device.
what? Why'd you say Aeropostale?
Whatever you're buying. I don't know. Like
I
you're
know
buying
that's just like
something.
the most random thing I haven't heard the name Aeropostale in like 10 years.
It's half your life. Anyway, so Jesus. So whatever you're buying, it recognizes your device, so you don't have to put in a password. They know it's you because your phone has confirmed it's you, and now they're just using your device. No, that's cool. Right on.
I like
Yeah, because
that.
I do think as hackers are already people trying to extort me online now.
Oh
with
my
hackers.
gosh,
Yeah.
that's so funny.
But being more secure. So yeah,
I mean, I have all my passwords written down, and it's kind of like too much.
written down like in a notebook.
Yeah, like in
What,
the
you been
notes.
hanging out with my mom?
No,
Why?
in the notes. Not in a notebook, like in the note.
That's
the note app
hilarious.
on my phone. And a lot of them are fairly the same.
Fairly the same.
Yeah,
He says.
one has a period, one has an exclamation point.
That's so funny.
That's why, with like government, you have to like change like completely different. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so annoying.
Kyle said that's coming here.
That's wild. That's,
But, you know.
it's secure. I get it, but it's just annoying. It's so annoying. So a lot of my passwords are fairly similar.
What is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you just got to remember one really hard password to get into the password manager.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's
And then everybody's going to just write that on a post-it on their desk. That's what people are going to do.
Oh my
but it's true.
gosh.
Yeah.
What you say is true.
Yeah. Or they're going to keep it
My
in
man tells no lies.
They're going to keep it in their wallet. You know.
But what is a wallet? Why do you need a wallet?
their purse.
If you have your phone.
Wallet. Yeah, I know. We don't even need wallets anymore. You know what my wallet is? My cards.
Yeah, but you know what? They're trying to get every state. If you open your wallet, there's only like 4 states right now that do it, where you can have your driver's license.
As they should.
As they should.
Then you could just carry
you
your
know how
phone
easy it
around.
would be to fake that though, bro? God.
You think?
You ain't faking that.
Absolutely.
That's different.
Is it? Kyle says they're
ballots.
already faking real driver's license. We all forget. They can't hear what Kyle's
I mean,
saying. We're
I
having
got-
a conversation with Kyle, and he doesn't have a
In
microphone.
the end, I got pulled over one time, and I had my proof of insurance and everything. But it was my first time. I was like 19 or 20. I was scared,
were
like
stressed,
driving
hands
back from
shaking.
PA, got down to Virginia, and I'm like, it was nighttime. I'm like shaking, I'm like, I don't know. And so he just went back to his car and looked up my stuff, and it was there.
Yeah, it's all there.
And I
Shocking.
didn't need it.
Crazy.
You
It's
still
like-
legally have to possess it.
Yeah, no, it's still a $50 ticket, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, why? I don't understand. It's
If
like,
they're
if I
cops in the
have
back,
it, why can't you just look it up?
Because you're supposed to possess it. It's just the law.
yeah, it's a dumb law
It's
though.
outdated.
I'm not disagreeing.
That's how laws work. They're all
You
outdated.
got to write your senator about that or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah.
Hey, what are senators for?
All right, what do they do?
Is this what I call my congressman about?
I ordered some shirts, Nate.
Oh, you did?
Oh,
I did.
boy.
I did.
Camp shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, ordered. I sent Nate a message this past week and was like, "Hey man, I'm thinking about buying some of these shirts." So I sent him some of what I was looking at. I was
Textured
like, what do you
shirts.
think?
Textured shirts.
Wow.
Textured shirts. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
There's some other
Are you
ones.
going to wear them on Sunday?
Got some of those jackets too.
Are these not Sunday clothes?
No, these are Sunday clothes. So I'm gonna be getting rid of a lot of my over jackets and stuff are too big now that I've lost some weight, and
It's
so
just too hot.
Well, I mean, like even into the winter, like preaching stuff that I preach in over the last few years, some of them are too big, and or they're just like I've been wearing them for 4 or 5 years now, and it's like kind of need to
Freshen
keep
up.
moving.
I know you preach every Sunday, but I said whenever I preach on Sundays, I'm going to get a new fit every time I preach.
Yeah, that would cost me a lot of money.
Yeah, that would cost you a lot of money, but for like once or twice a year, go to like H&M.
If you're lucky.
Yeah. If I'm lucky.
Yeah, no,
H&M.
Yeah.
No, I can. Yeah, I mean, I just needed to rotate through some of my long sleeve tops. So, and because style's taken a big shift over the last 3 years, so just trying to pivot a little bit. But I'm going to
not?
get rid of a bunch of stuff. I'm actually going to get rid of some shoes soon. Nothing crazy, not like some Jordan 4s or nothing. But I got some shoes I need to move through, cycle through them. They've been sitting on the shelf too long. I haven't worn them. Me and Ashley are about to go through a big purge in our house.
Ooh, the
I'm
purge.
so excited. She is not as excited. I talked about it this past Sunday. We're not talking about the 2.0 items, but yeah, we're about to go through. We're without saying too much, we're about to make some moves in our personal life, and probably going to involve a smaller house and some other things like that to start doing some investing. And part of that is we have to get rid of some of this stuff.
Yep.
And so yeah, we're
That's good.
We're getting ready for that, and so kind of.
You can always go get
face.
not a U-Haul, a self-storage.
What the thing about a self-storage unit is, I know we would end up paying on that for the rest of our life and never going in there.
Yeah.
So I refuse to.
Only
do that.
Americans spend $1,000 a year to store $600 worth of crap.
Literally. Now it's like $2,000 a year, but yes,
whatever.
I'm
Yeah,
with
yeah.
you. Yeah, 100%. Which is even worse. Here now you're paying $2,000 a year to store $600 worth of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They're everywhere, though. I guess people use them.
Oh, do they?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
that's a.
Yeah, Lee and I have one.
That's a money. Yes. Case subject.
No,
A,
but
right here.
but we need to. It's because we're in a townhome. We need to get a townhome. So
What do you have in there?
like all the Christmas stuff, all like our old like seasonal things and decorations and
You don't have an attic or anything?
it's like it's ghetto. It's weird. It's
It's
ghetto.
It's a brand new townhouse.
I know.
Brand new
You just don't want to go up there. Is all
That's
it is.
exactly what it is. He's terrified.
It's like hot and weird. Like yeah. I don't know.
That's how attics
It's an
work,
attic.
bro. Yeah.
It's
what
not
do you-
weird. Yeah. When you're
It's not
storing
Pennsylvania, bro. You
Yeah,
know
I'm not
basements
used to
here, dog.
attics. I want a basement
just
that's
don't use-
carpeted and
A carpeted basement.
yeah, that's how you know you have money. You get a carpeted
Golly.
basement with a couch and TV.
Yeah. That's
You
just
just
a.
don't want to go in the attic is all.
Yeah, I mean it's like all.
Don't y'all-
what's that?
do you park
pink
in your
stuff or
garage?
something
That
there?
would be
Insulation?
Insulation. Yeah.
Paint's
Insulation.
all pink stuff.
What's that pink stuff in there?
Yeah.
Don't roll around in it. You're supposed to
Go
play
roll
in
it.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
You're supposed to play in it.
Go,
Yeah. So
make a-
how do you
make
put
an
stuff
angel
up
in it.
there? If there's like all the, like, do you just put
you put
boards
it across the rafters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just don't make sure you only step on the
Rafters.
You'll go through that
You
ceiling.
will go through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
Chris
saying,
Garrido
bro.
can attest to that.
Yeah.
he did it at our church back on
Really?
Fairfield. Yeah, we had drywall ceilings at Fairfield, and homie
You'll go through it.
stepped right through the ceiling, bro. Yeah, so
That's wild. Yeah, so I want to.
Yeah.
Don't you have a garage?
Yeah, we do.
park in
I have
it?
I have a big golf net in there. Have a ping pong table in the
Priorities.
garage. Yeah, priorities. Priorities. Yeah. Yeah. So
I understand.
So
Yeah, no, we're
good.
we're gonna we're
Clutter's good.
look like we're gonna make some moves. I got some property I'm going to look at tomorrow, so I'm just gonna see if we can make some work here.
You know, one
Trying
thing
to
about
keep up.
land is they're not making any more of it.
That's true. Yeah, there's definitely a hard cap on dirt, so we're gonna go see what we can do.
How deep do you think you own? They're building islands in the desert.
Kyle says they're building islands in the
Yeah.
desert.
Well, yeah. Dubai had they built like that whole thing off of.
Oh, like a peninsula.
Oh, they
or
built
something.
land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like dirt transfer, right?
That's like one of the most richest. I think that's the richest
is
country
It looks
in the
like the
world.
world. It's called the world. Look it up.
Yes, this is called the world.
Look at there's the palms, but look at the world.
Yeah.
It's the whole islands
Somebody
look
look
like
it
the
up.
they look like the map of the world. It's wild. If you look at Dubai, like if you go back and look at like 25 years ago at the city and then where they are now, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
You know they have zero income tax. They have zero income tax. They have national health care. They have like almost zero crime.
You know it gets up to 130 degrees.
It's hot.
Oh,
Yeah, it's terrible. We were there during Ramadan. 130 degrees. It was terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, but they also they have almost no crime.
Yeah, it's.
I don't like that.
What?
The World Islands in Dubai.
Yeah,
Ugh, that looks terrible.
yeah. That's all man-made stuff.
Yeah.
Oh no, my trypophobia.
The palms look
Can't
cooler.
handle that.
The palms look better.
Yeah.
Ugh. Anyways,
Yeah, what were you talking about? Deep or something? You were talking about like how deep.
When you buy property, how deep do you own? To the center of the earth?
At
Like
least
how
to the
far down
core,
does it
yeah.
go?
I guess. Yeah.
Maybe to the mantle.
I don't think that's true.
So why
you
can't
can
you?
sell air rights.
Can you?
Yeah, that's what Christina Aguilera did in that movie with Cher.
Must be true then.
Has to be
It
true.
has to be true.
No, that's a real
Really?
thing. Yeah, so you sell like it. So if you had a building and part of the appeal to your building was the fact that you have a view of the bay, right? And you own the property next to you as well. So you owned where your building is, and then you own the building you own the block that it would be blocking your view. Like if someone built a high rise and it's now blocking your view, you can sell that plot of land, but not sell them the air rights. So they can only build up 3 stories, but they can't build past that because you didn't sell them the air rights,
way.
right? So in that way, all the tenants in your apartment building they paid for the bay view, right? So you're saying I'm only going to sell you this property and the 3 stories above it, but I'm going to keep the air rights above 3 stories so that you can keep charging your tenants for the bay view. Yeah, that's a real thing. Never needed to know that.
Yeah, I've never needed to know that. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it keeps them from, like I said, it keeps like the initial investors protected, so that they don't end up with a high-rise building all the way around them, and now they can't rent out their apartments because no one wants to look at.
That's
makes
real.
sense.
That in the cities,
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Absolutely.
you used to have a view and now you don't.
Yeah.
There's a
No, I
new
agree.
development.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
But so why aren't there basements? I mean, I know it's like water. Is it water level?
Water,
Right.
yeah,
so
water.
like, how deep can you dig?
It depends
before,
on
like the.
it depends on where we're at.
water?
Like it depends on where you're at.
So let's say
Control it.
cantonment or whatever. Like
You're hitting water like not that far down.
Yeah.
really.
Cantonment.
6 feet.
It also depends on where in cantonment.
It's like the one hilly area.
Yeah. So like for example, if this is sea level, the table is.
yeah.
Sometimes in cantonment, like over a 15-acre parcel, you'll see it do this, right? So if you have a house here, they could dig a basement because it hasn't gotten down low enough, right?
I've known some people that like my stepsister's mom and stepdad lived out in
Stepsister. So
my stepsister's
Mom.
mom
Your
and
stepsister.
stepdad.
So your stepdad's daughter's.
My stepdad's daughter's mom and stepdad.
Okay, got it.
My stepsister's
Jesus.
mom and stepdad. They lived out in Beulah, or not Beulah, Molino, and Barno Park, Molino. Anyways, the whole property was like slanted, so that it was a massive house, but it was like a walkout basement. Like on the back side, it was not a basement. On the front side, it's kind of a basement type deal. It's like that. So that was
house
kind
in
of
New Jersey and stuff like that.
Yeah, so they were able to do that based on the slope of the land.
Yeah.
And then I know a dude back in the day lived off 297. Josh, a friend of mine, they had a small basement in their house.
Yeah. One of my friends out in Cantonment past the paper mill had a basement. Always thought it was weird.
It's rare though, because you will hit water. I mean, you go 6, 8, 10 feet down.
You know how much of my life I spent in a basement? A lot.
That's
Not like a weird way. Okay, all right. No, like hanging with my friends and playing ping
puts
pong.
the lotion
and,
on
like,
its skin.
Oh my gosh.
Sounded so weird. That's where y'all like hung out.
Oh my god!
Yeah, which way you play
Like
ping
that
pong,
70s
play
show.
pool table. Yeah,
I get what you're saying because
it's
my
just-
first 6 years were in Kentucky, and
I think it would be cool.
Yeah,
No, it was that's how it was. So we are in our house in Kentucky. Technically, it would be the basement, and it was the same way. It was almost like a second living room down there, carpeted. Couch. My buddies, they had a basement, but theirs was like painted concrete.
that's how ours was. At our
And
house, yeah.
that's where they had like their ping pong table. They still had like a TV and stuff, but the ping pong table was down there, like a low rise basketball goal was down there, and we would cut up down there all the time. Brett.
Oh, yeah.
and Seth, that's how their house was. So
I think it'd be cool. We just never, we don't have those here.
yeah, my mom in Kentucky, they got one.
Some people they build out their attic.
Yeah.
That's rich people. That's usually that they got money.
Well, I was So it's funny is me and Tommy, when Tommy first moved into our house, we got this like wild hair to like build out build out the attic at our parents' house, and but it wasn't like not with wood. Like we put plywood down, right? But then we just went in with like bed sheets and nails and hammer and like created bedrooms with the bed sheets. So it was like very camp-ish.
That's wild.
And then we ran an
How
extension
hot
cord
was
up
that?
there. No, because we did it during the winter. That was the thing. We didn't think about the summer. We were like, this is perfect. Like, this is so cool. It was almost like a tree house. Was that a tree?
Yeah.
And so like we had a TV up there. We had Nintendo 64 up there. We had all kinds of stuff up there. And we're like, this is amazing. Like, this is so cool. And then like May hit, May hit, and we were like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Like, so we took it all down. But
Nick Britt used to have his bedroom.
I
Was
remember
in their
that.
attic.
Yeah. I remember that.
I remember it always kind of being hot, but he thought it was cool.
But his was like air conditioned.
It was,
It still
but-
got hot, but it
yeah.
was not as bad. Yeah. Ours was literally just in the attic. Like, hey, look, our old luggage is right over there. Insulation was like a few feet away. Like,
It's past the Christmas tree.
literally, yes. Yes, that was exactly how it was. So it was pretty funny. We built that. I was probably 6th grade, 7th grade when we did that.
Sounds about right.
Because Tommy moved in in 6th grade. Yeah, so
I just had people up in my attic last week. I had new insulation put in and ductwork.
I was like, you and Nate, man, y'all are
I had new ductwork on my AC put in.
new ductwork.
Gotcha.
What was that?
Getting phone calls.
Oh, getting phone. You might need to go take that. But yeah, man, it was cool. Cool upbringing. So yeah, I know the basement life or the attic life. Every year, my mom still calls all of us, me, Anthony, Tommy, my dad, to come over her house. She's like, come over for dinner, and she feeds us dinner. But we know if it's after Halloween, we know what it's really about.
Oh, you got to get everything out of the attic.
Getting all the stuff out of the attic. Yeah, she's like, y'all should come over and we eat dinner, And she's like, since y'all are here, can y'all go get
That's funny.
the 400 boxes out of the attic that she has for
That's why I don't do none of that.
eat dinner at your parents or?
I have decorations.
Oh, okay.
For holidays and seasons.
Well, I wouldn't, but I got married, and my wife likes to.
Same.
they do
decorate,
that.
yeah.
Same.
If y'all weren't married, would you put a Christmas tree up?
No.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I'm also kind of a Scrooge about Christmas. Retail, 15 years in retail, dude.
I'm not a Scrooge. I just, I don't see the need to bring a tree indoors.
I'll probably put some lights up, but not a tree. Yeah.
I just don't see the need for that.
Yeah, I will say,
But I also, if I go to someone's house and it's a tastefully done like Christmas decorations in your house. Like I do, like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I mean,
You know
we
what I
do. We don't go all out. I think it's typical to like millennials and stuff where it's like our parents like gaudied up the house for Christmas. You know, it's like there's a knickknack everywhere.
I was going to
and-
talk about that. I was going to bring that up when we were talking about that. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Like how all the millennials and like Gen Z's like minimalist.
Minimalist.
Like,
But it's because our parents, it was like they
Yeah.
literally stuck
Yeah.
a doll everywhere you can stick a doll, and it was just like my
Knick-knack,
God,
yeah,
it was
knick-knacks is a good
knick-knack
way
to
to-
death.
yeah,
And so
yeah.
I think for like even for us, like our Christmas decorations are minimal.
Yeah.
They're tasteful, like, and so it
And a
doesn't bother
knick-knack
me.
in my house.
Bro, listen. So what's funny is, so I was in Destin on a riding trip last week, right? Yeah. I mean, when I walked out of that, I was getting there on Thursday, going to be there all day Friday, and come back Saturday afternoon, right? So I'm not there that long. So I'm walking out the door to go to Destin, and Ashley's looking at me, and she's like, "Where's all your stuff?" I have a backpack on and my pillow. And she's like, "Where's your stuff?" And I'm like, "This is it.
Yeah.
I need, like, I'm traveling in these clothes. I need clothes to be around the house in while I'm working because I'm just going there to work. And then I need to travel back on Saturday, which will be the reintroduction of these clothes." So, like, I literally had a sleeveless shirt, some basketball shorts, a hygiene bag, and some underwear in that backpack. And that was it, bro. Like, there was more room. I could have fit a whole bunch more stuff. And she was like, "Man, like, you didn't bring a lot." And I'm getting to a point here. So then Friday, she ended up coming out because I ended up getting a lot of work done. And so Friday, she was coming out there to hang out. Well, Jake and Kaylee came and popped in and ate dinner with us too Friday night. So we were all just kind of hanging out there. And I say all this to say is they showed up at the Airbnb first, met there and whatever. And it was like, it was exactly how it would be if I lived alone.
Yeah.
It was like my cell phone charger, my watch, wallet, keys, shoes, and then like a shirt and a pair of shorts draped right here. That was the only thing that had changed in the entire Airbnb for the 42 hours I had been there. Like nothing else had changed. And I was like, this is how I would live my life. Like, this is, So I can, when you're like, there ain't a knick-knack in my, that was like, that is exactly how I would be.
But I have stuff in my, especially my new house. I know we've talked in the past. I didn't have nothing in my old house, but
you
like
done planed it up.
I
You got a
planned some
Jumanji
stuff.
in there.
Yeah, I plan, but I don't have like knickknacks.
Knickknacks
are
are crazy. I talked about this Sunday. I talked about it in the sermon. Let's talk about the sermon.
Yeah.
Message recap. So, my wife, she showed up with more. Matter of fact, got home from Destin.
more stuff.
More knickknacks, man. More knickknacks. I don't know where she's going to put them yet. Haven't quite nailed that down. So I have a thing in my house. So most people have never been in my house, but so we have a kitchen. Our kitchen counter kind of pops out, and it's extended, and it kind of becomes an island, but it's not an island because it's all connected. You guys y'all have been in my house. Yeah. I don't want. It's about this long, about as big as a table, 6 feet ish. There's bar stools on one side. You can sit down and eat at it like a counter. On the other side, it's like you can use like a prep counter. I don't want anything on that.
Why would anything need to be on it?
Totally agree. I don't like anything on that. Ashley tends to like decorate it. Here's this cute little fall inspired
Pumpkin.
glass thing with a
Yeah.
pumpkin and like the tan thing, frilly things coming out of it right in the middle.
Doily.
So I'm just like,
oh my gosh.
and so I walked in and I saw some of those things, and
Dust collectors is what I call them. They just collect dust.
and so I was looking, I was like, I don't know, I wonder where those are going to go, and then I started thinking they're probably going to go right there. She probably put them there. That's where she wants them to be, and so I moved them to another location in our home. I'm going to see if she recognizes that they're gone.
Yeah.
From the locations you put them in.
she'll
'Cause
notice.
I think she's already forgot about them. I think she forgot
Really?
they existed already. 100%.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she's not this is a good idea in the moment, but once she starts thinking about something else, it doesn't matter anymore. So I've relocated them.
like
She doesn't listen to this
It's just like
podcast,
they
so
had to
I've
buy,
relocated
it's
them.
like they
to
just
see.
had to buy something. Like I was at the store, I had to buy
That's
something.
cute. I want it in my home. Yeah, so that's what we're dealing with. So I'm thinking I put it somewhere else.
Leah doesn't know. No, she
Yeah,
doesn't.
because I saw firsthand.
That's funny.
I went into Hobby Lobby just to watch the people in Hobby Lobby.
It's unbelievable.
I mean,
It's unbelievable.
yeah.
And everything in there is 25 cents.
You could make a
So-
joke out of the whole thing. Like you could go in there and just watch these people. I mean, they have aisles and aisles of like fake shrubbery and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you know how dusty this is going to be up in your house.
People
Like
buy
I
it.
wanted to sneeze in there,
You wanted to?
knowing how
I
dusty
didn't,
it's
but
gonna
I
be.
wanted to.
But I mean, there's so much.
Yeah, people
You
buy
know.
it. Yeah.
And I do like some of the stuff at Hobby Lobby, but Hobby Lobby can make your house it can be tacky very quick. If you have too many word sayings, even if they're godly,
Live, laugh, love.
live, laugh, love. If you got too much of that going on,
yeah.
that can get
Quit yelling at me.
Yeah,
Right? I'm just sitting in your living room.
but yeah, I'm hating on the people at Hobby Lobby, but
Yeah. Leah will just go in the store and look and like stuff, but she won't buy it. She won't get it.
and she calls that shopping, don't she?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
that
enjoys
is the shopping. It's
That's
not the buying.
shopping.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
buying would be
That's
different.
Which
Yeah,
that's not me. I go in, I get something, I know what I need. I don't just go in.
Right,
and
exactly.
I get it, I walk out.
Yeah, I'm
so-
only there because I need something.
Yes.
Well, lately
right,
I've had to do more of what I think women like to do because of the new house. I don't know exactly. I know I need something in this spot. I just don't know exactly what I want until you kind of see it. So you are just kind of like walking around, like browsing, for lack of a better word, like you're looking around. And I hate every minute of it.
Yeah, see,
you know?
that's- I'd be like,
and even my
Leah,
mom,
you go and do
like
that.
my mom went. I took her, and she's trying to be helpful. And it really wasn't
Mm.
because she's thinking like for her, like I would like this would look good to me and my
Yeah.
mom, but I don't want I don't want
Any of that.
I don't want that. She's like, well, "What do you want?" And I'm like, I don't really." I was like, "I know when I'll know when I see it," and that doesn't help.
You should have got an interior decorator or something.
I told
know.
him that.
Yeah,
He didn't listen.
We got one in the church.
We have 3 in the church. Just found that out.
I know a new one. Yeah, Drew's wife.
But Drew's wife.
Drew.
Yeah, the new guy Drew from
Oh,
Denver.
yeah. He went to Pine Forest. Pastor Rick and I, whenever we were out there, he's like on one of the pictures where he's like top 10 in the class on,
Oh,
on the
really?
wall.
Oh,
We were
really?
Like, that's from like 1997. We're like, he looks familiar. Like, oh, that's Drew. Yeah, it's crazy. He's from like Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that Drew.
Yeah.
He was at the meetup.
Got it.
Yep.
I'm here now. Took me a minute. Yeah. I just.
We got off on the things we were talking about the stuff from Sunday.
Well, we were just talking about the knick-knacky
Your
thing
2.0
and
stuff,
the
yeah.
2.0 stuff. Yeah. So I think we have 3.0 stuff now, but
So do y'all just because you're married and you want to keep happy home, just like shut up about it? Kyle said, "Yeah."
yes. Well,
I mean, do you appreciate that they're decorating the house? Like, obviously,
do.
you don't hate it. Like,
I
it's
appreciate
not like
it.
it's not like I'm gonna.
Right,
I'm
well-
not gonna come home and you're gonna like tell your wife that you have terrible taste and I hate all this. Like, you
Right.
wouldn't
So
do
it's
that,
not
you
it's
know?
not it's not my house. It's our house. Like so that's,
That's
the
right.
thing,
That's
right? So
right.
it's like she wants so, but she knows that things I don't do well when it's like when it's clutter. Like I can't do
Yeah.
that. So Ashley and I talked about this. I haven't really told anybody this, but I'll say it. It's not bad. It was just like when we came back from the cruise. So we went on a cruise for 7 days. Leading up to the cruise, I was I hate using the word anxiety and anxious because I think that's a word that deserves to have a category for certain things. So I'm not going to use that word, but I was just constantly overwhelmed and frustrated.
One might call that anxious.
Sure. Yeah. So, right. So I was constantly frustrated and overwhelmed. Some might call it having anxiety, but for like weeks before the cruise, and I could not figure out why. Like I was so like, what is, like there's stuff, we're busy at the church and, like we came through a busy season but I really could not figure out why. Now keep in mind, I was out of the pulpit for 3 weeks before we went on the cruise. So it was also like, I'm not preaching. Why am I so frustrated, overwhelmed, anxious? Went on the cruise. We came back feeling great. And the second I walked through that front door, it was like it all hit me. And I realized in that moment,
Really?
it's it's the house. And it's not Ashley, like it's not her. It's like I started looking around, and when she left her job and came home, like we made a big switch in our house. Like she left her job. A lot of her job stuff, work stuff was at her job. I never had to see it. Well, so that stuff comes home, right? And it was like, and I started noticing like, oh, the way that we've stored things collectively, not just her, like me and her, the way that we've stored things, the reentry into the home. And then we got the dogs shortly before that. And so like some of the things that we've allowed to like stack up, I started realizing like, oh, it's this house. And so we had a big conversation.
It wasn't very feng shui in there.
It wasn't, and it was really driving me crazy. And so we had a big conversation. I was like, look, we gotta
Feng shui this bad boy.
we gotta do something about all this. So we did. Part of it also was like Eli moved in the middle of that too. So like now the stuff that was in the room that he's in had a place, but now it's been redispersed into. So it was just like there was a lot of things, and I was like, I can't do it. So we had to have a little conversation and do some relocation and all that stuff. And so yeah, it was a lot. But all that to say is like I can't. So she knows that. Answering your question, she knows I don't do what. If you overwhelm me with clutter, I'll start pacing in circles like. Someone needs to move this stuff. Like, it really freaks me out.
Why are you pointing at me? Why are you pointing at me?
Made a face.
No, you did. No. Pacing in circles. That's.
Well, not like in a little circle, but I just mean like I'll start moving through the house. Like,
I was
putting stuff
picturing
away.
you.
Like,
I was picturing you in your living room.
like a little circle. No, like I'll go to the kitchen and like put a few things away, and then I'll go to the living room and like fold blankets because there's too many blankets out, or like I'll put the dog toys away, then I'll go to like essentially I'll just start like kind of cleaning up, and like I'll just keep doing it, and but I'll also like.
That's why I like a clean house too, like and like no clutter, clean. You know.
Yeah. I'll start putting things in their place. The thing that she gets frustrated in, then I'll find things that don't have a place yet. What is this and where does it go? She's like, I'm going to put that somewhere tomorrow or this weekend.
Yeah,
I just haven't done the thing to create the space. I haven't got rid of the 1.0s to put the 2.0s. And I'm like, I need this done right now. And that's when she gets frustrated. She's like, shut up and sit down. And I'm like, I can't. Like, I can't. I need this to change. So she knows that. So she doesn't, you know, it's a balance. So, yeah. I create space. One thing I will do, husbands that are out there, I've created spaces for her to be able to knick-knack things. So like we have an entryway table. She knows like here's the general aesthetic for what we're going for. If you want to swap 1.0 out for 2.0, I'm not, you know, whatever. So
knick-knack it up.
just not too much. An equal number of knick-knack swaps would be preferred, but yeah. So
I get it.
there's too many flat surfaces in my house, Kyle. That's what I've realized. Kyle knows what I'm talking about.
Too many shelves.
Yeah,
too many
the
flat
reason why the
surfaces.
sound booth has a slant on it. No coffee cups found their way up there nowadays.
Yeah, for real. For real. That's big.
It's a real thing, bro.
That's big. That's
So,
big. Everything at TC is just going to be slanted.
Yeah, we're gonna start
It's why I hate
slanting everything.
shelves
yeah.
because people put stuff on them. I don't like cabinets either.
Where do you
Because
put
people
your,
will just.
where do you
I
put
think
your
cabinets
cups?
can be worse because people then just throw stuff in there.
Where
So
do you,
here-
where do you
like-
put your cups at your house?
No, I have cabinets at home.
He's about here on church.
He walks into his new home. These cabinets are ridiculous.
Just starts yanking
takes it.
cabinets out. It's crazy.
Do you want to hear something crazy about my cabinets?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Okay, so listen to this. So
We
whoever
really just like nailed down all of our OCD issues.
whoever
right now. That's all we're talking
remodeled
about.
the house, the townhouse I bought, they did a poor job in a lot of things. The sheetrock is.
Atrocious.
It looks like I did the sheetrock. But in the kitchen, it's like they put cabinets. They put in new cabinets. I don't have a single drawer. There's no drawers.
No drawers in the kitchen?
And then there's this one spot. My mom went to clean it before I moved in, and I did a deep clean. And she goes, "There's a space for a drawer." And I was like, she's like, if you get under the cabinet and look up, there's even the rails. And I was like, is there a drawer there? Or is there a space for a drawer? She's like, well, on the front, it looks like the front of a drawer, just no handle. Like there's space for it. I was like, that's not how drawers work. It's like there's a hole, and either the drawer goes in there. I said, is it a drawer that's no handle?
Not how drawers work.
So she was like, it's a drawer. So I get there, and I'm like, it looks like they put a drawer in and forgot to put a handle, and it's like it's painted. So I'm in there like I'm about to pull the thing off. Well, they
not a
tacked
drawer.
it because the oven and stove that they bought sticks out an inch. So if you open the drawer, it would hit the oven and don't open. So they just said, screw it, tacked it in and didn't put a thing on it. So I got nary a drawer in my house. In my
That's
kitchen.
wild.
No drawers in the new house.
That's wild.
It's crazy. And I think when they built those like in the 70s or 80s, like now there's a dishwasher. Back in the day, they probably didn't have that, and there would have been drawers there or something. There's literally no drawers. So there would be one big drawer that you can put all your utensils and stuff, but it's tacked shut because the oven they bought sticks out too much.
Jeez.
And then in like one corner, you open. It's one of those corner door deals that opens. And it's two big lazy Susans. Which is nice. It's all this, but like my mom made a good point. She said this could have been 3 drawers here and a pull-out thing here or something. Like they could have done something different. So I literally have like, I don't have like a place to put like forks. So the big stuff, I bought this nice like glass white jar thing that like you put utensils in on the counter or something. But like I'm making do. But literally, it's like they just did not do a good job like measuring and stuff. So they just got there and put it in and was like, oh, this won't work. So just tack it shut and call it a day.
Wow.
It's like, so I don't know how if I can like
wild.
custom like, I don't know, make the drawer shorter or something. I
was
don't
about
know.
to say,
Get a cabinet guy to fix. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, it's fixable.
It's fixable with some money, I guess. But like stupid stuff like that. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
No drawers in my house. In the kitchen.
I was going to say something.
Very
I forgot
stupid.
what it was.
Very stupid. But a lot of corner stuff. Like 2 cornered up top that's real deep, and like I had to put a lazy Susan in.
Yeah.
I hate lazy Susans. They're so annoying.
So I
Like
Lazy
industrious
Susan?
Susans.
If your name is
He likes more
Susan, I'm
athletic
sorry.
Susans.
You like industrious.
I only love Leah. Leah, I love
very
you.
ambitious Susans,
yeah.
actually. Me and Ashley, at one point, we were like, it would be cool to do floating shelves in our kitchen. Like, we were talking about that.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, that would be really cool. And then she pointed out, it's like, yeah, it was like, we can put cups on it. And then at one point, she was like, no, I don't think that would look very good. And I remember thinking to myself, like, no, that would look awesome. Like, it would look really cool. Yeah. And I could see it in my head because I can.
But cups are like glasses.
Glasses. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you're getting to where I'm going. Okay, yeah. So
you don't want like your Dickie's barbecue cup up there.
So you're getting where I'm going. So and then I initially was like, no, it would look awesome because in my mind I'm seeing uniform coffee cups, uniform glasses, uniform bowls, uniform plates.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not thinking about the salad bowl set of Cool Whip containers we have. Stuff like that. I'm thinking about I'm thinking of
the Country Crock bowls. Your Country Crock cereal bowl.
Right. Which, we don't. It's not that bad, but it is like I'm not thinking about the Tupperware container situation where you always have 10 times the lids than you have containers, and like I wasn't thinking about those things. I was just thinking about which we do have like the good plates and the good cup that we could have put out and then use other stuff, whatever. But we obviously didn't. But again, in the new house, minimalistic approach to everything because we don't have enough room for that, and we may do something like that. But
when you think dishes, you're thinking like the white bowls or the coffee cups and the glasses.
Don't start with me.
The nice stuff.
Her Starbucks cups. You guys have seen where we keep our Starbucks cups now, though. Have you seen
the
that?
door, right?
In the door?
Yeah, in the door.
So the door to the pantry, I built shelves on the inside of it. So she keeps all her Starbucks cups. So they're all out of the way. She can collect up to currently 42 Starbucks cups in that space. She's almost there. I think it's 42. She's almost there. It's almost full.
What do you mean cups?
I can tell you in the 3 days I was at that Airbnb, I used 2. I had a coffee cup and a water glass. I almost said cup.
I mean, I
have
have dishes, so like I have a set of glasses, small ones to taller ones. I don't usually use those.
I told Ashley we're not even getting that stuff when we move. Like we'll get the cups,
Yeah.
not small, not the, like we did the same thing. I'm like, we're not doing this again.
Yeah, like you have like one's like a milk glass, I guess, or orange juice or something. You have the taller. But I have like my favorite thing they usually drink of it is like it's a blue plastic cup.
Right.
Do you think that's like a
Exactly.
guy thing? Like, because I have a bunch of coffee cups. I use 2 coffee cups, and if one of them or both of them are dirty, and I have
Just
all
wash
these
it.
clean, I wash it. I don't use my other coffee cups that are in there because I like my coffee cup.
What is it? Is your cup? Is yours like a glass and like a mug that you like?
It's like
or is
a $5 coffee cup from Walmart that I bought before I went on deployment, and
just
it's like
your coffee cup.
it's my coffee
Right,
cup.
exactly.
So
I get that.
I will
I have-
use that coffee cup.
I have like 3.
And I
have 3
will
in
use
rotation.
it, and I will wash it out, like, and I will just put it on the whatever.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like for like a week.
Of course.
But it's disgusting. But it's my coffee
No, no,
cup.
you're
and I-
wa- you
and-
wash it out.
Yeah, and I wash it out and like but like
Seasoned.
It's
no,
yeah.
no, I'm with you on that. I'm the
Yeah.
same way. Matter of fact, just me and Ashley talked like, and part of the coming back from the cruise thing was like, I opened the cup cabinet again, talking about like the circles that I go in. I opened the cup cabinet to get a drink and was like, "There's too many cups in here." I just like yelled it in the house. And so the Saturday, she got rid of literally like probably 20 coffee cups. She doesn't even drink hot coffee. Why do we have a million coffee? I'm the only person in this home that drinks hot coffee, and we have enough coffee cups for the church. Why are we doing this? So I was like,
That's a great question. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
so now we have like 10, which is still to me a lot, but we do have get-togethers, so maybe 10 people want to drink coffee at one time.
Yeah,
But,
I like a good glass mug, but
glass mug. Do you put it in the freezer? I know people who put their like glass mugs in the freezer. Yeah, like
I'm not talking about a root beer mug. I'm talking about a glass coffee mug.
that's where I went.
You
And
said
then you said what you said.
You
and I
said a
went-
glass mug.
I was like, is that like a way
Glass
to,
coffee mug.
And you got to say coffee mug because if you say
said
glass
coffee
mug,
mug.
yeah, no, he didn't
It's a
say
mug.
coffee. He said glass mug. That's why. I
get
thought you
I
said.
get it. I mean,
yeah.
that's not illogical, but
Yeah.
I meant like just a regular old.
Thank you.
A regular old mug, like a coffee
Bro,
cup.
Yeah, coffee,
I
coffee.
went where you went.
It's made of glass. It's
And then you
glass,
said
yeah.
what you said, and I
They're both glass mugs,
could
actually.
not process that. Well, is yours ceramic?
Oh, ceramic.
Yeah, yours would be ceramic. Yours would be ceramic. Yeah.
Oh,
So-
you're right.
well, I mean, technically, the little espresso mugs are glass sometimes. So, in all fairness, but yeah, usually ceramic's what you're
Yeah, yeah. I might have messed that up.
doing. Yeah, bro.
No,
when you
I
said
used
put it in the
ceramic
freezer,
mug.
I thought it was like, is that a way to like instantly cool off the coffee so that you can like drink it faster or something? Like I was.
No, I
shook.
used to have a glass mug, and I would put it in the freezer.
Yeah.
You
I
put
have a
some
few of
Dr.
the- yeah,
Pepper
I
in
have
that
a few of
mug
those.
like that?
Oh,
Like milk.
Or chocolate milk. What?
Stop it. All right, we're done with
You
this.
said
No,
milk.
Don't
You said
stop it.
milk.
Stop it because I'm going to get 1,000 people on Sunday. I can't believe you say milk. Please stop coming up to me and
My man says milk.
It's spelled
Milk.
MILK, not MELK.
It's another thing. Milk. Like it's easier. It
Yeah.
rolls off. Milk. It says milk. Like nobody says that milk.
Everybody says that's how it's the word.
All right, we're done.
Anyways.
'Cause I'm gonna get
Milk.
But no, my blue cup, my blue plastic cup is like I put anything in it. If it's
Jack
chocolate
of all
milk time,
trades.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's it's the
Equal
it's
opportunity cup.
That's right,
Everyone gets a.
and it holds a lot of tea. It's big. It holds a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I have, dude. I use that for like everything in my house. So
Yeah,
basically white girl now.
yeah.
yeah. I didn't even buy that cup. It just showed up at my house one day, and I've been using it ever since because it just holds a lot of water. So I have to refill it less often. But I just.
So what you're saying is all those dishes in your house were causing a bunch of anxiety.
Or would
Or
you say-
frustration and overwhelm.
Overwhelm.
If it was anxiety,
Yeah.
you gave some ways to deal with
I
that.
did
on
on Sunday. I did give some ways to deal with anxiety.
When we have messages like this, I know because a lot of people like that's what they ask for. I don't deal with anxiety. I've never have like that. Like it's not saying I've never been anxious or experienced it.
Sure.
But like on a regular, I don't, and it's like I almost feel bad about it because
Yeah,
I know some people are in there listening, hanging on this edge of their seat at that sermon, and I'm like,
Don't get it.
it's not for me.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
yeah.
We talked about that with like a number of different things that are all kind of connected like that. But yeah, I mean, it's I think for some people it is it's like they kind of live in a constant state of anxiety. I think some people are kind of triggered with anxiety. Like that's what and obviously it's like varying degrees of it too, right?
Of
Like
course, some people
are,
may live in it and can't help it. You know,
yeah,
it's
some
not a
people,
knock.
and some people are completely paralyzed by it. Some people just get a little overwhelmed and frustrated. Like I talk about like me, if we're going to call it anxiety.
Well, if the only anxiety I can remember is if I did have an anxiety attack when I fell off the.
You had an anxiety
brother,
attack,
you
brother.
had
a panic attack, full blown panic attack.
Now that was not fun. That was not that did not feel good.
Anxiety is the feeling you felt for the 2 hours after that. That was what anxiety is.
Yeah,
So,
where you just feel anxious, your heart's racing, and you just like you're
kind of an out of body experience.
Yeah.
You're really tired, but you're present still. Yeah, all that stuff.
I
yeah.
was so tired.
Yeah. So he did do that.
Remember the
But-
drive home?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, we do.
do you? No, no, you don't.
No, that's the that. So yeah, we talked about it on Sunday. And the reason I don't use anxiety for like, I feel like I don't like that society has lumped many things into the same box. Whether we're talking about anxiety, whether we're talking about depression, whether we're talking about something like special needs or autism, like
I get that.
I'm not a big fan of that, so I'm hesitant to use it because, and I mean that in an honoring way to the people that truly deal with it. Like to say that the piled up blankets in the corner of my living room
Gave you
give me
anxiety.
anxiety, knowing that people truly have like genuine social anxiety where they start to shut down and tears well up in their eyes and they start to hyperventilate. To me, it's like the fact that we use the same word for those things is to me is very unfair. But I get it. I just don't like using it. But all that to say is,
Well, I saw a video on YouTube and it was like, this entitled, teenager or whatever was like did something wrong, like was speeding or something, got pulled over, and then was giving the cop all this crap because they saw too many videos where they thought that the laws don't apply to them. So the cop's like, "Give me your license," and they're like, "No, I wasn't doing anything wrong, so I don't have to give you my license."
that would be incorrect.
And then the cop was like, "Now I was like, okay, that's wrong," and the cop's getting a little more forceful as he should, and then the kid's like, "You're triggering my anxiety, and I can't have this. So you need to go away." And the cop's like, "Yeah, that's not a thing. I'm not doing that. Like, you're gonna get in handcuffs, But it was like the audacity of this kid was like, it's just like you're triggering my anxiety, so you need to go away.
Yeah. No, I think that I don't like the lumped in categories thing because I think it really does take away from people who are actually dealing with things. So, but all that to say is,
but surely there's like just like autism has a spectrum. Like there's degrees of all that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so that's why I say I think it's like whatever. But we talked about it on Sunday, and we had tons of feedback from Sunday. It was just like, dude, thank you. We needed to hear that.
I saw people posting, and I'm so glad that people got benefit from that. It's like not everything's for you, I guess, but because I was like, I'm thankful. I don't struggle with stuff like that, honestly. I've always been thankful, but I also sometimes would feel bad about it, especially in pastoral leadership or something. Like, it's like I don't relate to that at all. So it's like I don't know. I can speak to it.
I think part of it too is like I'm not like a generational, but it's like I think it's like, man, the kids nowadays are growing up with way more than what maybe millennials have grown up with. So it's like way more going on. So it's like way more.
And I think that's real.
Stimulation and
social
like
media,
social
all that,
mind, all that stuff. And it's like
100%.
I'm gonna send y'all a clip. I'm not gonna mention it because I'm not gonna mention what it is. But I watched a TED Talk the other day, and the guy that gave the TED Talk is he's a podcaster. He's very wealthy. He also is a professor at NYU, but he makes a lot of money just through investments and what he's done over the years. Anyways, he did a TED Talk that I'm going to send. I'll put it in our staff channel, the clip. He says a couple cuss words in it. That's the only reason I'm not going to mention it. But he leans left, but he also comes with like what he thinks are problems. And what his whole TED Talk was, he was talking about, do we love our children, was his starting question. And then he goes to, well, if we do, then we sure don't act like it. And he goes to how this is the first time in American history that 30-year-olds are not doing as good financially as their parents were with you adjust for inflation and all that stuff.
Right.
He was like, we're way 30-year-olds now are much poorer than their parents were, and this is the first time usually it's reversed. Over the years, it was you were always doing better because the economy and all those things. So he goes to this whole thing of why that he believes that is, and there's this wealth transfer that's going from the young generation that's transferring to boomers and older. And all this stuff. So the older people are better than they've ever been, and the younger people are poorer than they've ever been.
Oh, really?
And he goes through this whole 20-minute TED Talk. It's really good.
Yeah.
And you may not politically agree with every little thing he says. Because at the end, what I like about this guy and on his podcast stuff is like he has solutions. Like he's like, in order to fix this, I believe we should do this. Da, da, da.
Yeah,
and he even talks about like I'm bringing all this because he mentions. So he says in the TED Talk, he said, I believe Mark Zuckerberg single-handedly has done more to harm young people than any person in American history, and he goes on to say, like, there's no reason a single person under the age of 16 ought to have social media, and he said things like they ought to ban phones in schools. They should not allow them in schools. He's talking about kids on the screens is bad. So he kind of goes into all that, and there's data behind why that stuff, I agree with him, is bad for young people, especially when he said when social went mobile, you started seeing a decline in mental health with young people and all that.
100%. And,
but his stuff was he talks about how even now college, when he went to Berkeley in California, they had like an 80% acceptance rate. He said now it's like a 9% acceptance rate. And he was talking about how colleges. How bad they are because they've raised their tuition at like 3 times the rate of inflation, and he says what higher education is not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be that we find the elite who can get into the school, and then we find this elite group of people, the top 10% of kids that can get into college, and then out of them we find 1 or 2 that are super remarkable, and they become these remarkable billionaires like the Mark Zuckerbergs. He said that's not higher education. He said higher education was like when in the 70s. He said where you take average kids and you give them the opportunity to become remarkable. He's like, I was a 2.0 student, but I was in Berkeley. And he's like, because that's what higher education is about, is giving everyone an opportunity to get in there. And through that, you have the opportunity to become remarkable if you want to be. So it's kind of very good in that sense. So very interesting. I follow the guy on social and stuff, and I have 2 podcasts I listen to that he hosts. But his TED Talk is very good. I'll send it to y'all because it's kind of interesting. But
I think at the end of the day, even education stuff aside, I think that I don't think any of us are meant to view the world the way God does. And what I mean by that is we have access to too much information. Like, we should not be stressing out over a Russia-Ukraine war. We should not be stressing out over North Korea invading South Korea. We shouldn't be living with the photos and the videos of these other places. To me, it's like we're almost playing God in a sense of we're shouldering an emotional stress 24/7. So it's like every time there's a new update, we're getting, Google is sending us something, or the New York Times is sending. It's I wake up. So I'm subscribed to the New York Times. I wake up every morning to an email. This is what's going on. And it's like the 5 worst things in the world right now. And I'm like, and most of it I don't ever read. I'm there. I want it because I want to know if they did a recent study or whatever. Like, that's usually what I'm following it for. I don't read the vast majority of it. But the fact that you're being inundated with that much information is like, I feel like we're just not built for that. And talking about anxiety, and like the millennials and Gen Z in particular, I feel like they're shouldering the weight of things that's like only God should have that kind of information, or that much information. Like, obviously we need to know if a country is doing something tragic, or like we need to know that these things exist, because you do want to be able to speak to them governmentally or whatever. But to be just inundated 24/7 with whether it's peer pressure for young people, whether it's the news cycle and tragedies, or video footage of the recent killings at the whatever. It's just like, man, you just and media knows that negativity sells, right? So it's like they're not posting the cute kittens anymore, like, or they're not posting the great stuff that's happening. It's all this high school, the shooting at the high school, this in Ukraine. Here's the pictures of the dead bodies in the Gaza Strip, and it's just all of this stuff. You're like.
Yeah.
So it's no wonder we're anxious because we have the information that, in my opinion, only God should have in regards to a 24/7 outlet of it. Again, it's one thing to see it on a Monday morning newspaper and then not have that show up again until next Monday and get an update. You know what I mean? So
Do you ever think about the flip side too? Like I think about Gary Vee, what he has said before. It's like in light of the media where everything's so negative, Gary Vee, how he's super optimistic, but he talks about how good the world is though. He's like at any given point, at any given day, people could just take their car and run through a crowd of people at any city. And they don't, like for the most part, like that's not happening. Like we have the capability to do some terrible things to people, and it's like at the end of the day, by and large, you don't. It's like kidnapping. He talks about kidnapping. It's like it's safer now to let your kids play out in the yard than it's ever been in human history. But we think it's not. We think it's actually we think it's less safe than it was in the 80s or 90s.
I would argue with him, but I would say that's not true. But
And I'm not saying I didn't look at the studies or whatever to know.
I would say that's not true.
Is that true? But there was at one point, there was like
I think there's a process of degeneration of morality that would say that society has to progress. It has to get better or it has to get worse over time, but it does not stay the same. And it's obvious that it's gotten worse. So I would disagree with Gary Vee on that, but I know you're not advocating for it. I'm just saying it for the sake of the conversation. But nonetheless.
I think what he's ultimately is like people could be worse to each other than we are.
Yeah, but I think that's like I understand, and this is Gary Vee's thing, right? Like supreme optimism, like supreme optimism in light of the negativity. And I can appreciate that because I think, again, he has an audience and he's trying to convince people don't live on this side of the teeter-totter, live on that side.
But because he would say like even like Gaza or whatever, like these wars are like those are thousands of people, maybe hundreds of thousands of people they're dealing with that. But there are places that have millions of people, way more, and they're not killing each other. Like it's like at the end of the day, on a numbers perspective, it's just like we hear in Pensacola, right? Like we were last night, Larry talking about at dinner. Violent crime is up in Pensacola. Crime as a whole is down though in Pensacola, but there's a couple categories where it's up, and in those areas we know why it's up. It's drug related, and that's why it's a lot of young people, and a lot of it is retaliatory. You have one murder, they know 2 or 3 weeks later there's going to be another one because it's retaliation for this one, and it's like that's the bad part. But also like I was at a meeting last night with Quentin Studer and some others, and Quint was sharing like Pensacola was rated like the 31st best city to live in. There's like 3 things Pensacola was voted in. Palafox is a top 10 street in the country, like when they vote on the top 10 little streets. Pensacola is
if they'd shut it down and just let restaurants put chairs outside, it would be top 5. But
that's an argument that's going on.
I know it is, and I think they need to do it.
Yeah, so I don't disagree.
Think that would be amazing. That'd be great.
We're actually I'm on a committee now for CivicCon to pick speakers for topics. That's why Quint was there. So that's definitely probably going to be a point of thinking. Anyways, but Pensacola was like one of the best places. As bad as we know, if you live here, how hard it is to get your business started through Escambia County because of the antiquated permitting process and all this stuff. It was still voted as one of the best places for an entrepreneur to move to. Like it's crazy, but it's like when there's bad, there's there's all this weird stuff. But
well, that's what I say. And kind of case in point to what I'm talking about. It's like if you would just, and we've talked about this before about other things, and I think we're wrapping up. We need to, but if we would keep our eyes a little more local and a little less global. I mean, even national.
Everybody should do that.
You know what I mean? It's like whether we're talking about national elections, like people should pay more attention to their local elections than they do the national elections. I'm not saying ignore now. I'm just saying
full supporter. I'm a supporter.
Yeah, so I think it's like if we all took our turned our phones off a little more frequently, if we weren't inundated with as much information, we weren't in for the you're with teenagers more, if they were comparing themselves less to other people on TikTok or trying to be like the influencer on YouTube or whatever, just all those things are just like that's a global media empire that if people would pull themselves away from that a little bit, I think that they would see anxiety decrease quite a bit. But at the end of the day, one thing I just noticed as we're wrapping up here today, and y'all know how my ADHD works, so that we're all like kind of in a St. Patrick's Day vibe here right now.
Got some green on.
I got some green.
Green. Well, you got black bottoms. I got black bottoms. He's got a black top, but with tan bottoms. But my shoe has tan. So you got tan.
You got tan shoes.
We'll have to take a photo. We'll take a photo and
On
post it
that, yeah. We'll,
I'm sure no one cares about
I
it.
realized that while you were talking about CivicCon also.
yeah. Well,
So, well, that's what we're talking about today. This Sunday, we're talking about stress.
stress.
Oh, that's
Which a lot of people, some of the answers on the Instagram poll that I put out, you know, they were giving me, I said, why do you have anxiety? And they were actually giving me stress reasons. They were giving me stress answers,
I
not
almost put my
anxiety
boss.
answers. That would be true.
I almost did that about my boss.
So you know, we're gonna deal with the we'll briefly deal with the difference between stress and anxiety, and then we're gonna get into being stressed and how do we trust God in that process? So,
Too blessed to be stressed.
Too blessed to be stressed.
All right.
Ooh, I might use that. All
Hashtag.
right, Justin.
Yep.
If someone listened to this podcast or watched it and said,
I know they do.
"These guys,"
If you watch this, that's wild.
if these are the guys that I need to visit this church. I need to know more about this church. This place is incredible. Where would they do that at?
Hey, transformationchurch.com or on social at Transformation Pensacola.
That's how you find us, guys. So if you need to make us famous, no, I'm just kidding. Please don't do that. But that's where you can find us. We appreciate you, Nate, as always.
Grateful.
Official third person.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
official.
Justin.
Yeah, official.
Yep.
Official.
I got
Special guest, Nate Pojoy, even though he's on every podcast. Anyways, so appreciate you guys. We love you. We'll catch you next week for another week, another sermon, another recap podcast.
Podcast.